You find at the Queen's Royal Appointed Bakery. Using a sweet milk dough made up with eggs and butter, they're making one of their famous plaited loaves. This is the Soho Bakery where, in these days of mass production, Madame Floris, who came here from Hungary just 30 years ago, still makes 37 different kinds of handmade oven-baked bread, feeding them in with wooden oven peels. See just how tempting they look when they're out. And then see how they set about creating what they call Harvest Festival bread, the wheat sheaf loaf. These are the early stages in the process of making a hand-baked masterpiece, 5 times the size of a large loaf, a labor of love that links bakery back with the days of the simple farmer's life and home cooking. But how complicated it all is, what detailed and delicate work has to go into it. The whole thing is taking its final shape. But it's rare these days to come across craftsmanship in a bakery. Most bread now is steam cooked on conveyor belts. See what the wheat sheaf looks like at harvest time. Now watch the doughboy experts work the elastic pastry that they use for apple strudel. 2 pounds of dough must be light enough to cover 60 square foot of a baking table. If you can't read a newspaper through it, you've got your dough too coarse. It's got to be wafer thin, and that calls for experience. It's hard to remember what a floury, kitchen-made material it is that he's working with. This is the conjurer's magic you so very seldom find in workaday life. It isn't making bread that tests the baker's basic skill. It's kneading the dough for apple strudel so that you can stretch it from here to Vienna, if you so wish, before you fill it with raisins and almonds and cinnamon, as well as your chopped up apple, and then wrap it up for baking, like fish and chips. That's a super saturated sugar solution ready to solidify like strands of candy floss as soon as it hits air. Watch it become sugar wool before your very astonished eyes. We're crystal gazing at this moment. We're witnessing another spun-out miracle. And now it's ready to decorate a croquembouche or a typical French wedding cake. We've been wool gathering for a second time in quick succession. And if you do too much wool gathering, you find yourself